right, first up this morning, are you a sensitive? That's a personality trait coined in the 1990s to describe people who are typically introverted and extremely emotional.
And the holidays can be especially challenging this time of year for sensitives when we're all supposed to be filled with this joy and comfort, yet you feel stressed out. So here to help sensitives make it through the holiday is Nicole Eisler. She is personal energy specialist and a self-empowerment coach for more than 20 years in the healthcare field. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for
Great
having
to
me,
see
ladies.
you.
It's my favorite topic.
That's the color of the year. Do you remember
Oh, yeah,
our DIY specialist saying yesterday, it's this vibrant purple. That's the color of 2018.
See,
You're
she's
ahead of the
representing, right?
Way
She's
to go.
awesome.
She's starting off with a compliment. Exactly.
Yeah, that was a good
perfect
conversation icebreaker.
So this chat that we had at the top, you probably understand that a lot because, I mean, sensitives, I would assume, when this time of the season, it's hard for them to really come out.
It is, and that's really the initial feeling. In self-talk, it's kind of an inside joke with sensitives because we like to go deep. We understand things more deeply, so we don't want to talk on the surface, really to talk about life, those real matters. So the holidays, though, really bring up a lot of feelings, a lot of emotions. We all want that Hallmark holiday, right? That movie,
Right.
that perfection. And there's relationships, there's people involved. So it's really about connection for sensitives, but we're always processing.
Okay, so Katrina and I were talking about this in our office because we were reading the introduction to you, et cetera. What are sensitive? Who are these people? Because
Describe
it's
it.
kind of a general term. Yeah, describe.
Right.
So if someone's watching, you'll know you're a sensitive if you're.
Well, if you even hear the word sensitive, you're on automatic. You've probably been told you're too sensitive, you take things too personal, why can't you let that go? There's a lot of little catchphrases that people have been told if they're sensitive, but also you're really, because you process things so deeply, you're very aware of the subtleties in the environment. So it could be noise, sound, smell.
Wow.
They're the ones in the office that always smell when somebody's warming up for lunch, right? Oh, what is that smell? Or,
So you
right?
shouldn't do salmon?
No, we don't. We
Don't do
like
that around
you
the-
know?
Don't do that? Okay.
And we're real feelers. That's really our superpower, right? Is feeling and emotions. And no one understands emotions better than a sensitive, but because of the way it's presented, that you're too sensitive. I don't know who got to define that, but it's perceived that there's something wrong with me because I feel so deeply. When it's really the opposite. You can use it as your asset. It helps you build rapport at those parties, right? And
Yeah.
there's also extroverted sensitives, so there's both introverted, extroverted, but it's learning how to read the energy and understand your own energy first and foremost, which is where sensitives tend to get stuck. They're more outside of themselves, right? Trying
Instead
to
of going into
balance
their
on
superpower.
that. Yeah.
I love that term. What would you say are some things that people can do to let that superpower out a little bit more, to navigate the holidays?
Yeah, one, just honor how you are feeling. Emotions are misunderstood. Oh no, I'm feeling anxious. Why do I feel anxious? Instead of, that's interesting, I have this signal going on that's telling me something is a little bit off. All of our emotions are really to help you cue into your feeling place. So if I say, ooh, I notice that I'm feeling this way, it's not how I want to feel. How do I want to feel? I want to feel relaxed and at ease, and it's usually because there's something focused outside of yourself, or maybe,
Going back
you know, you
in.
can, I call it track it back. If I feel something that's uncomfortable, I can track it back. What was I just thinking about? Oh, I was thinking about that bill, or I was thinking about that family party I have to go to, or,
Right.
And
you
then
know.
you can direct your feelings, I would assume, instead of
Absolutely.
letting them take over you.
Yes, they're
Well-
all signals to help you, guide
And I
you.
think the holidays are a time when we think we're supposed to feel, like we said, all this joy, and we're supposed to be experiencing this fun and this
Right.
elated sort of feeling. And I would think sensitives, it's also a time though that you can feel a lot of other emotions. If you've lost somebody maybe, or your
Yeah.
life isn't where you think it should be, or you want it to be, all
Exactly.
those kinds of things can kind of play into this, you know, sadness rather
Right.
than this feeling of elation.
And there's two parts. So it could be your own, right? I miss my grandparents this time of year, so I'm feeling a little more nostalgic. Maybe I'm feeling sad. Or if you did lose someone sadly this year, that can also play a role. But let's say you're close to someone and they're going through something as a sensitive. You want them to be okay. There can either be a people pleasing, but also we love to feel happy and light. Who doesn't, right? But a
Right.
sensitive, really to feel sad or heavy is so uncomfortable. It's very restricting. So just take the pressure off. Feel what you feel. And then move into honoring those feelings, but also how could I feel a little bit better right now? What could I focus on? What could I think about? Comfort yourself, but certainly that doesn't mean you have to retreat, and that's sort of the isolating feeling comes in, reach out, connect with someone that you trust, whether that's a mentor, a friend, right? And just honor how you're feeling. And it is, you can spark that feeling that you really want by
All right,
honoring
I
it.
have a question for you though, because these are things that the person who is a sensitive can do. What can I do for somebody who is a sensitive by
Thank
not
you.
saying you're too sensitive or whatever? What can
Right.
I do to
Nice.
help you?
Thank you for asking that. You know, they're feeling the way they're feeling for a reason, and instead of shutting it down, how can I help? Or, you know, understanding where they're at. I always say meet people where they're at,
Yeah.
and then you can move
Everybody
into a
has their
better
own
space.
burdens.
And certainly stay strong yourself, right? Take care of, it's always about self-care too, and honoring your own energy so that you can move together into a better feeling place. But they feel the way they feel for a reason, whether you understand it or not.
Just say go ahead, have
Just
your
say go ahead,
feelings.
and
Yeah.
let's, you know, and how can we move to a better feeling place? Let's make some tea. Let's have a chat. Let's do that self, you know,
Rather than dismissing it. I think that's fantastic. Maybe especially if you're married to a sensitive,
Oh,
it's
yes.
important to
I
meet
get
them.
that quite often.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, you have the only 2018 planning party. It's a workshop for sensitives. I love the fact that there's some, you know, an opportunity for questions and kind of work through
how-to.
plan things. A how-to is fantastic. Happening Saturday, December 30th from 1 until 4 p.m. You can find out more by contacting this website. Nicole's website is NicoleEisler.com is the website, or you can call about the workshop too, 262-501-5209.
Thank
Wonderful
you.
to meet you.
so
Thank
much.
you for having me.
Happy holidays
You
to
too.
you.
Thank
you.